we saw what happened, and I think all of us watched and did what he did. I think we owe a lot to him in terms of industry, also in terms of entrepreneurship and philanthropy, everything that we learned from him. Some of the industries, as Shankar was mentioning, from the textile industries, early in the days, we have a lot of black cotton soil here, and it was suitable, climate was suitable. We have, from spinning, we had a lot of engineering industries that needed to cater to the textile spinning industry, not just in maintenance, but also we had the cattle goods that came out of it. And then from the textile machinery industries, we went on to electric motors that were required for the textile machinery. We made the first electric motors here. And then came pumps, which were very important for agriculture in India. So a lot of pump industry that came out of Coimbatore also. This is how Coimbatore started. Go back, previous one. And a lot of so we. And today, where do we stand? We have a really vibrant industrial ecosystem, which not only covers textiles, but we have jewelry, poultry, defense, heavy engineering, motors, pumps, and so on. All of this started from this one single industry. We are also known to be one of the first, as I said, one of the first people in India to do electric motors, but we have a lot of firsts. We are known as the motorsport capital of India. We invented the wet grinder, and we are one of the largest wet grinder manufacturers in India or in the world for that matter. We have a lot of interesting different manufacturing. We have a manufacturer of bulletproof helmets and vests, I think. We have commercial vehicle off-road vehicle manufacturers in Coimbatore. We have spinning machines. Automotive components are also quite large, quite popular right here. So how did we start off? So much has been going right for the city in the past couple of decades. How did we come about thinking about Coimbatore next? Is that even though so much has happened in the last, I would say, 100 years since the textile industry has been quite happening in Coimbatore, we have seen that the people who work for us, the blue-collar workforce who work for us, their children, they have studied, got educated to a much higher level. And what has happened right now is we have a lot of youth in our city that are very well educated, and in one hand, and on the other hand, we have a lot of industries which are very well established, but are catering to a kind of industry, kind of workforce that is dependent on a lower level of skill. So based on that, we decided to, from CII, we decided to do a study last year on Coimbatore to find out, how the strengths and the weaknesses of the city have evolved over the last couple of decades, and how it is going to evolve into the next decade, and what we can do to take the city into the next level. And some of the major points that we came across was we've been lagging on many parameters, and some of the key parameters are salary. For example, it is very difficult to find top talent, particularly in the top level management, because the salary levels are we don't pay enough for that category of people. We are having a deficit of FDI that is coming into the city. This is all these points are basically in comparison to similar cities, tier 2 cities nationally. FDI that is coming into our city for the caliber of our city, it is minuscule. Our traditional industries are very robust in foundation. They're basically very strong. A lot of industries are very solid, but we don't have one single large company. Very few of our industries that have been set up for many years are in the multi-billion-dollar segment. And a lot of work that we do is based on either working for someone else. That is, we're doing contract manufacturing, we're making parts for somebody else. We don't have our own brand, we don't have our own product, and this is because we don't invest enough on branding. This is because we don't invest enough on intellectual property, and we don't invest enough on R&D. And we are yet to see a lot of sunrise industries. Through all of what has happened in the last decades, we see that a lot of Coimbatore is also well placed on education, particularly engineering education and medical education, the higher education. And we have a lot of skill coming out of our universities and colleges from various different fields of industry. Like if you look at the cutting edge technologies like nanotechnology or robotics or you name it, any of those things, we have a lot of skill coming into our workforce. But none of them are able to take a job right here in Coimbatore with us, because we've not invested into any of the current generation of industries like electronics or EV or any other startup. Based on this report, we decided that there are two levels of we will be doing work on two different areas. One is traditional industries the industries that are established already. How can we unlock the growth of these industries? First is, of course, to find economy of scale by creating a shift in thinking, how to go global, how to be able to take the product to a national level and to a global level, to bring in not just manufacturing excellence, but also stronger strategic thinking level, stronger business model innovation abilities, and also other such innovation and things like that. And intellectual property, I think a lot of our companies, we have a lot of intellectual property. We've been working on it. We know how to do something very frugally. We are able to do things here in Coimbatore frugal that we are not otherwise in the rest of the world is difficult. We know how to do this, but we don't codify our intellectual property. So the intellectual property needs to be codified, and we need to own it. And we need to take efforts on how to bring the next generation of attract investments from anchor companies from the next generation. For example, electric vehicles, or let it be electronics. If you see, for example, in electric vehicles, the electric motors that are made, a lot of electric motor manufacturing already exists in Coimbatore, but we have not stepped up the game to move into the other areas of electric motor manufacturing, like electric vehicle motors or even servo motors, high precision motors. And the same goes for mechanical engineering industries. We do a lot of lower value added mechanical engineering, but we need to step up the game into precision engineering. And I think this is where Coimbatore actually will benefit, and we can unlock the potential of Coimbatore by increasing the basic value add that each of our industry, or let's say per capita or per employee value add, that if we can double the value add that each one of our employees bring to our organizations, then that in itself is a win, not just for yourself or just for the industry that is doing it, but also for the city and for the nation at large. So I think these are some of the areas that we've been working on to try to bring in investments into the city. I think I'll ask Prashant to take over.